Tangela. Is this your first CS Week?
Yes, it is.
And what do you think about the conference so far?
I loved it. I was able to explore a lot of companies that we actually work with and get some bright ideas from them to engage our company with, or at least take back, at least to explore those ideas of them.
Awesome. Did you come with a traveling companion or are you on your own?
I came with 4 more people from my company.
That's very smart. So you guys could divide and conquer.
Exactly. We were able to explore a lot of area around here.
So what was your favorite aspect, or what are the favorite things at the conference?
My favorite thing was the workshop, the classroom settings, the leadership workshop on the first day. I am new in management, so the ideas he brought to me, how to become a successful manager and lead a team, was very enhancing for me.
That's awesome. So you're talking about the college sessions that we held on that pre-conference portion.
Exactly, the college session.
Well, great. That's a great reminder for us as we plan for the new year. We appreciate you joining our conference, and we hope you plan on coming back next year, right?
I look forward to seeing you next year.
All right. Well, thank you, Crystal, for coming out all the way from Florida, Power and Light. We appreciate it. How do you like the conference so far?
I just have to say I like it. This is about my 6th year.
Your 6th year, you're a veteran.
Yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out?
For example, I brought 2 coworkers this year, and they're really enjoying themselves, trying to look to replace our CIS or keep it. So a lot of good opportunities, and to meet a lot of great people here.
What did you think about the showroom, the exhibit floor this year?
Oh, I thought it was awesome. You guys did a great job of bringing in more vendors. I think it's a lot more than the previous year, so.
Absolutely. Okay, well, what was your favorite part of the conference, and what has been your favorite part?
Listening to all the people that are doing things with their CIS and whether to replace or to keep it.
So we really want to make sure that we bring people out to the pre-conference session. I hope you join us next year in advance of the conference. Okay. The colleges were very insightful, and so were the Synergy group. So do you plan on coming back next year?
I plan to be here.
I'll see you in the Synergy
I'll be
group.
In Fort Worth.
Yes,
looking forward to
all
it.
Right. Larry, this is your first conference, and I do appreciate you coming out. So let me ask you something. What struck you the most about this conference?
Well, there's certainly a lot of different people here, and it's really nice to see all of the different vendors and all of the different attendees. And so just meeting a lot of different people and really hearing that, I come from a smaller utility, but it looks like a lot of the utilities are struggling and have challenged with the same things all over the place. So it's really good to see that.
What do you think is going to be the biggest takeaway when you go back home?
I think that there's some new ideas and some new things that I've seen in some of the sessions that I certainly want to look at a little bit closer and see if we might be able to incorporate some new ideas and some new processes into what we do today.
Yeah. Do you have some colleagues that you feel like probably should have accompanied you this year that you're going to be calling on next year?
Well, maybe you mean like local utilities? Yeah, probably. I live in a small city called New Braunfels, and I'd really like to see them come out here. New Braunfels, Texas, and San Marcos, Texas, and so it's good to see some. San Antonio's here, so it's really nice to see them. So yeah, I'd really like to invite them here. And
well, next year we'll be a little closer to you in Dallas, Fort Worth. Am I going to see you?
I should be there. Absolutely, planning on it.
My understanding is that you've already turned your stamp card in for the car, so you'll be driving the Jeep home at some point this weekend.
That is my intention.
Okay. Even though we are giving away this wonderful car, can you talk to me a little bit about what else you're going to take away from this conference?
Oh, that is a very good question, Penny. I think what I'm taking away from this conference is lots of new ideas. The whole idea is to collaborate, and I think we've done that.
One of the things that I'm always particularly interested in is how people perceive our planning efforts when it comes to bringing in these general sessions. What did you think about the general session?
I liked a lot of the general sessions. This is my first time.
Okay.
And a lot of the times you don't really know what you're getting into, right? So from just being my first experience, I think that the information I learned, every single session, I took something away.
And now this year, we did have colleges and we had synergy groups. Were you able to participate in any of the pre-conference sessions?
Unfortunately, no.
And so now my next question is next year.
Next year, absolutely.
I will see you in Fort Worth.
I'm going to Texas.
I'm
going to win those boots.
Okay, are you bringing someone with me?
I might.
Okay.
I might. I'm not driving. I don't want to put miles on my new Jeep.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. I will see you in Dallas, Fort Worth.
See me in Dallas.
I might pick you up at the airport.
All right, you got it.
Raquel, I am so delighted to talk to you today about our conference and get your insights on some of the aspects of the conference. But first of all, today's general session was particularly moving. Tell me your impressions of the session this morning.
Wow, Doc was absolutely incredible. You know, he was so authentic. And what he did was just really shed light on one of the fundamentals of our human condition, and that is the need to focus on other people. The fact that we're here for others, we're not here for ourselves. And so when we get our sights off of us and onto others, some really incredible things can happen. So there was kind of a global, I think, application to that, because, you know, even if it's not trekking off to Africa or to South America, our interactions with one another in the business arena, you know, if we're kind of, you know, that our brother's keeper, you know, what innovative things could we come up with for our customers, for one another, our coworkers, things like that.
Yeah. We actually touched on some of the core values of leadership in some of the colleges this year. Did you have a chance to go to any of the pre-conference sessions this year?
I went to the Synergy Group, so that's, the Billing and Payment Synergy Group.
Awesome. What was your takeaway from the Billings and Payment Synergy Group?
Wow, there are so many challenges and a lot of people that do manual billing.
Yes.
So we need to get really innovative.
Yes.
You know, so just really the common challenges, again, are something that it's mind-boggling that where we are, we still have so far to go.
One of the biggest goals behind the Synergy Group is that when you find that you have challenges that someone else has, it does create a synergy to work together toward common solutions.
Absolutely.
And what I'm hoping comes out is you find that you're a part of a broader community that's there to support you. Goes back to some of those core values of leadership that we learned in the general session.
It sure does, and I absolutely do. So I've gotten some incredible networking, you know, opportunities in this week, and I know that those relationships, again, it's about relationships. Those relationships are going to definitely continue.
Well, will I see you next year at Dallas Fort Worth?
I believe you will.
And I'll be looking for you. Thank you so much. I'm here talking to some award winners, and I really want to hear your impression of the conference, particularly with all the work you've just recently done with your CIS system. Let me start with you, Kim. What did you take away as the big aha moment at this conference?
Well, I honestly have only attended one other conference, the CS Week, and it was back in, I can't remember the year, but it was in Nashville. So it was the one where everybody had to scramble and change everything because they had the big flood during that year. And in that conference, I took a lot aback about learning about what it meant to implement a CIS system. Because at that time, we were looking at doing that. Well, now, here we are, fast forward, we implemented an ECIS system. Overall, it's been a great conference. I like how how you all have really brought in other utilities along with the vendors. It seems like you've done more of that this time than when we were here in Nashville, and that has really added more value, I think.
I think that probably comes a lot from the feedback. We do take very seriously any feedback that we receive to build our conferences. Let me ask you a little bit about your impressions as we prepare for next year. What are some of the things that you think we really need to continue to do and magnify as we go forward into the next year? I'm going to talk to Mike.
There we go.
Yeah, I think so long-time listener, first-time caller for the CS Week conference. So I think the biggest benefit is the breakout sessions. And I think if you can continue those, they've been great. And I think, as Kim said, a lot of them have been the utility and the vendor working together and doing the sessions. Those have been fantastic.
Okay.
Hats off to the folks who've been doing those.
And what I'd like to see more of is AMI. There were some sessions on it which were really helpful, but you know, like any good utility, we just finished a major project and now we're heading into our next, and I'm a project manager for the AMI, and so I'd like to hear more feedback on people who've already implemented and what experiences they've had after the implementation.
Some really good insight. And how about you? Tell me about some of the great moments this year that you think we really need to make sure we expand on.
I think the sessions, I enjoyed going to all of them. I hope to attend everyone that's there, and I hope to come back another year so I can expand on it. So.
Well, then that's my challenge to you is make sure that we see you in Dallas Fort Worth with friends. Thank you very much. Mike, I appreciate you coming and supporting us year after year, and I think you probably have some valuable insight to share as far as the changes that have taken place over the years. Could you tell me a little bit about what you've seen?
Well, there's been two common themes probably: consistency in the quality of the convention, but also growth. Because every year it gets bigger, and there's always a twist, both in the vendors and the attendees, and the partying, and some really great special speakers that they brought in too. So every year it's been very interesting, fun, and affords me a good opportunity to connect with a lot of people I've worked with over the years, and see where they are in terms of their careers. They've maybe changed companies or maybe advanced, and so it's a good time. I look forward to it every year.
Great. We pride ourselves on being the largest educational conference of its kind for the industry. And so with that, I would like to ask you, what are some of the better lessons learned from your attendance at these conference events?
I think there's a lot of opportunity to learn, so you need to take advantage of them. Both in some of the pre-sessions like the colleges, the executive summit I've attended that a number of times, and the sessions that are part of the conference also. Talk to the speakers, you got an interest, and because you can't beat that interaction, because now you make a connection, you can call them anytime. And the networking aspect is really huge. I've had many conversations just this week, and people need some information. I need some information, and you get to set that up.
Tell me some of the biggest takeaways that you're going to have from this year.
Well, this year I learned a lot about the future of the utilities industry and how all of the internet-enabled products and services will affect utilities. Mm-hmm. And we're always looking to the future and trying to plan accordingly, and this is the best place to do that.
Great. And one of the things that most people overlook is how much time and effort goes into the planning and all the little details. What do you think about the venue in terms of how we make sure that you're sustained with food and drink and beverages and, of course, Thursday night's party event?
You all make it look too easy. I am absolutely certain that there was a lot of time, sweat equity put into the planning and development of this event, and it's just seamless to those of us that attend.
Well, awesome. Well, I have a question. If I have a new attendee and they're looking at this tape and they're saying, well, I wonder what I'm going to get out of this event, what is your advice to them to look for and plan for?
Look for people that are within the industry that do the same thing that you do or something very similar. So make sure you make those connections. Make sure you find the dessert table because it's fabulous. And try not to stay in one space. Walk around, talk to the vendors, get information, and take it back.
Linda, thank you so much for attending CS Week, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. I understand you're traveling here pretty solo, and you had a lot of work cut out for you. What was your strategy coming into this conference?
I think our strategy was really to focus on the info sessions this year. Last year we did a lot of demos, which was fantastic, but we didn't get to see a lot of the workshops, so that was kind of our focus this year, and we really got a lot out of it. We really enjoyed it. And now we're trying to do some last-minute floor walking and talk to some vendors and I guess just get as much as we can out of the conference, down to the almost last day, I guess. So.
Well, then here's our review I need to get from you. How did we do in meeting your expectations coming to this event?
Excellent, actually. I found all of the speakers really good. The information we've received from a lot of the vendors has been excellent. I think we've enjoyed everything. Yeah, right down to the food and the coffee.
We'll take that to heart. Am I going to see you next year at Fort Worth?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you.